गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शताब्दी चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री श्री राधा माधव हरि की जय। श्री श्री निताई गौर सुंदर की जय। श्रीनाथ जी गोपाल की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयाम्बुधिरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकीम् कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपः कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2nd, Chapter 9, text number 12 to 17. Pravalavaidurya 12. 11, sir. Okay. Canto 2nd, Chapter 9, text number 11. श्यामावदाता शतपत्रलोचना पिशङ्गवस्त्रासुरुच सुपेशसः सर्वे चतुर्बाहव उन्मीषन्मणि प्रवेकनिष्काभरणा सुवर्चसः श्यामावदाता शतपत्रलोचना पिशङ्गवस्त्रासुरुचः सुपेशसः सर्वे चतुर्बाहव उन्मीषन्मणि प्रवेकनिष्काभरणा सुवर्चसः श्यामावदाता शतपत्रलोचना पिशङ्गवस्त्रासुरुच सुपेशसः सर्वे चतुर्बाहव उन्मीषन्मणि प्रवेकनिष्काभरणा सुवर्चसः Word to word meaning. Shama, sky bluish. Avadataha, glowing. Satapatra, lotus flower. Lochanaha, eyes. Pishanga, yellowish. Vastraha, clothing. Soruchaha, greatly attractive. Supeshasaha, glowing, youthful. Sarve, all of them. Chatuhu, four. Bhavaha, bahavaha, hands. Unmishana, raising luster. Mani, pearls. Praveka, superior quality. Nishka abharanaha, ornamental medallions. Suvarshaha, effulgent. Translation and purport by His Loving Divine Grace, S.B.2.9.11 Swami Prabhupada. Translation. The inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planets are described as having a glowing sky bluish complexion. Their eyes resemble lotus flowers. Their dress in a yellowish color, and their bodily features very attractive. They are just the age of glowing youths. They have 4 hands, and they are all nicely decorated with a pearl necklace with ornamental medallions, and they all appear to be effulgent. Purport. The inhabitants in Vaikuntha Loka are all personalities with spiritual bodily features, not to be found in material world. We can find the descriptions in the revealed scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam. Impersonal descriptions of transcendence in the scriptures indicate that the bodily features in Vaikuntha Loka are never to be seen in any part of the universe. As there are different bodily features in different places of a particular planet, or there are different bodily features between bodies in different planets. Similarly, the bodily features of the inhabitants in Vaikuntha Loka are completely different from those in material universe. For example, the 4 hands are distinct from the 2 hands in this world. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. From last few days, we are hearing in this particular chapter 9, chapter entitled as Answers by Citing the Lord's Version. So in this particular text, Shukdev Goswami is describing the Vaikuntha planets and the inhabitants of Vaikuntha planets, how they are looking like. In this material world, we can see that everyone wants to be very beautiful, to attract another sex. Male is attracting female and female is attracting male. And therefore, in this material world, everybody wants to be beautiful. They don't want to become old, because in the old age, their beauty becomes down, goes down, decrease. And therefore, we can see to stop that old age or wrinkles on their faces, in this material world, the cosmetic industry, they are working so hard and they are getting billions and billions of dollars only for this sake only, because nobody want to get old and nobody want to get ugly to look. And therefore, in this material world, we cannot stop it, because anyone who takes birth, he has to get old, he has to die, and he has to suffer with the disease. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. Birth, death, janma mrityu, jara means disease, and jara, janma mrityu jara vyadhi, jara means old age, and disease means, vyadhi means disease. And this is not in our hand to stop it. And because this material world is called as Martya Lok means everybody has to die compulsory here. Abrahma Bhuna Loka Punaravarti no Arjuna. From the planet of Brahmaji, Satyalok, to down to all the planets, 14 planets, everybody has to die. But that period or that time is different times for all living beings. Like in the Satya Yuga, human being was living for 1 lakh of years. Then Dwapar Yuga, it decreases till 10,000 years. Treta Yuga. In Satya Yuga, 1 lakh, Treta Yuga, 10,000. In Dwapar Yuga, 1,000. In Kali Yuga, it became at 100. And now, if one goes till 50, that is the big century for him. Because nothing is there in our hand. And therefore, this, we cannot stop also that birth, death, we cannot stop. And only mean or only thing is that to stop this old age or repeated birth and death is taking shelter of Krishna. And therefore, once Kunti Maharani, while she was praying to the Lord, when Krishna was living from Hastinapur to going back to Dwarka, and he was planning to leave. And that time, Kunti Maharani approached Krishna, Dwarkadhish, and she started praying. See, Krishna, you have given so much thing to us. Everything is there for us now. But the main thing, everything is there. as you have told in Bhagavad Gita, Yogakshemam Vahamiham. Whatever is there, I will protect it for you. And if something is missing for you, I will give it, definitely. What you need, I will give you, and whatever you have, I will protect it. In India, the LIC, the insurance, Life Insurance Corporation, they have stolen this slogan of Lord. Yogakshemam Vahamiham. They have slogan with the hands, folded hands. Under that, they have written Yogakshemam Vahamiham. Means they are assuring that they will protect us. But that is nothing, because they will give that money after your death. And for taking that money, your children's or your nominees, they have to work, and they have to work very hard for that. Each and every day they have to legal cases, this and that in the court for taking that money, whatever is left for you. But Kunti Maharani is praying here that because of you, we have survived from last many incidents, in many difficulties. And she was describing different incidents regarding Draupadi's Vastraharan and Bhima's thing when Duryodhana tried to kill Bhima by giving him poison. And again Duryodhana tried to kill all the Pandavas with Kunti Maharani in that Lakshagraha, the building made of, what do you call it? Wax, made of wax. He made the building with the wax and he told, this is gift for you. And when they entered in that, in the night, he was planning to burn them out. But with the Krishna's mercy, they survived. And so many incidents, after that incidents, she was remembering all the incident. And she was telling Krishna, see how you have survived us from different difficulties. And now you are going. So who will be taking care of us? And therefore she is praying, Vipadaha Santuta Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavato Darshanam Yasyad Apunar Bhava Darshanam. Means she is praying that Krishna, Vipadaha Santuta Shashvat, means Vipada means suffering. Krishna, please give us sufferings continuously. Vipadaha Santuta, nobody is going to the temple to ask for the sufferings or miseries in this material world. But Kunti Maharani, she is particularly praying at the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna, please give the suffering. And not that one after another in the next year, no. Continuously, one after another. Vipadaha Santuta Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru, the Lord of Universe or the spiritual master of universe. Jagat Guru, the spiritual master of universe. Bhavato Darshanam Yasyad. Because if we'll see you, then there will be no seeing of birth and death again and again in this material world. Because she is describing that when somebody will get sufferings in this material world, they will think of you desperately, they will think of you. And thinking of you means remembering you. And remembering you of means taking your direct darshan. By the blessings of we can see you by your blessings. And by seeing you means totally stoppage of repeatedly birth and death, the circle of repeated birth and death in this material world. See, and therefore she is praying for continuously miseries in this material world. And therefore, only Krishna can stop us this repeated material birth and death in this world. And therefore, when after the taking devotional path, totally by surrendering unto him with the spiritual master's instruction and guidance, when we'll go back to home, back to Godhead, that Prabhupada always telling, 16 plus 4 is equal to BTG. 16 plus 4 means BTG. 16 plus 4 is 20 in this material world. But Prabhupada is telling 16 plus 4 is BTG. Means 16 rounds of chanting Hare Krishna daily. Plus 4 means following 4 regulatory principles is equal to back to home, back to Godhead. Because Prabhupada is telling, I have the key, backdoor key for Vaikuntha Loka or Krishna Loka. And I can take you inside from that back door. Because as per Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, if no one is chanting 64 rounds daily of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he is degraded, he is fallen, and he cannot achieve Krishna Prem. Every day 64, every day 64 rounds. That takes around 8 hours every day. And by seeing our fallen situation in this world, and especially in the Western countries, when Prabhupada saw, and he told that to his disciples, you have to chant 64 rounds. Then they told Prabhupada, 64? It's impossible, 8 hours every day. Then Prabhupada told, oh, it's okay, 32. Then Prabhupada, 32, 4 hours. It's very difficult. Then he told, okay, 16. Then he told, this is the minimum. Don't ask them to minimize me again. This is the final 16. So sometimes the devotees are asking, why only 16? Why not 10? Why not 15? Why not 11 as auspicious number? Why not 21? Why only 16? So I heard that answer, that 16 in one Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or one full Hare Krishna Mahamantra, 16 words are there. Hare, Krishna and Ram, 16 words. 16 into 108 of round, 108 of beats. 16 into 108 into 16. There is 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And that the calculation is around 27,000 something, 27,400 something. And that much we are taking the first breathe every day, 27,000 times. We cannot calculate that, because when we go to sleep, we cannot calculate. 27,000. So for each breath, each at least single name of the Lord, Krishna, Ram or Hari, 27,436, and that is the calculation for our breath every day in 24 hours. And therefore, Prabhupada has given minimum 16 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And when we'll go by the mercy of Prabhupada and our Acharyas, when we'll go to Vaikuntha Loka, and there we can see this description as it is. Prabhupada not wrote that just to something he was feeling like, no. Prabhupada told that Krishna was directly dictating each and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam. Although in Krishna book, Krishna personally dictated this all to him. And this narration where Prabhupada is given is as it is, we can see in Vaikuntha Loka. We can see there, all the Vaikuntha devotees or the residents of Vaikuntha, they have 4 hands. And in the 4 hands, Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma they are carrying. Shankha means conch shell, Shankha Chakra means Sudarshan, his Chakra, disc, his disc, Gada and lotus flower in his hand. All are same bodily features like Lord Narayan. But Lord Vaikuntha, in the Vaikuntha Loka, Lord can we understand. Then we'll be confused. Who is the Lord? Because everybody is the same bodily features with the bluish complexion, like Prabhupada is giving here. That bluish complexion, their eyes resembles lotus flower petal, their dress is yellowish color, their bodily features are very attractive. Everybody is the same. So how we can understand who is the Lord? Then on his Vakshasthala, on his chest, golden hairline, the place for Lakshmi's residence, where Lakshmi reside. And from that golden hairline, we can understand he is the God, or he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vaikuntha planets. And in the next verse, Prabhupada is describing, there are some inhabitants who have attained the liberation of Sarupya. Sarupya means the same bodily complexion like Lord. Sarupa, Rup means form, and Sa means same form as per the Lord. Our possessing bodily features like those of personality of Godhead. The Vaidurya diamond is specially meant for personality of Godhead. One is that hairline, golden hairline, and another thing is described because after reading this in the first canto only, Shukdev Goswami has described by the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam and studying it very carefully. One day, whose mind is settled or mind is controlled, he can sit in the Bhagavatam class very peacefully and he can learn from that Bhagavatam. And that one day will come on the each and every page of Bhagavatam, we can see Krishna. And the same thing when we'll go back to home, back to Godhead, after reaching there, we have to understand who is Krishna or who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, all this description is given. Yeah. Because in this material world, everybody is confused. So don't want to be confused persons in the abode of Lord. Therefore, everything is getting clear here only. How you can understand Lord, who is the Lord. Therefore, this description is given here. The Vaidurya diamond is specially meant for personality of Godhead, but one who achieved the liberation of bodily equality with the Lord in the specially favored with the such diamonds on the body. The Vaikuntha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes, all glowing and brilliantly situated, and they don't need any visa or any tickets for that. These airplanes belong to the great Mahatmas or devotees of the Lord, and they don't need any helipad to land and take off. They can land anywhere because everything is Chintamani in the abode of the Lord. Chintamani prakara sakalma sukalpa vruksha. These airplanes belong to the great Mahatmas or the devotees of the Lord. The ladies are so beautiful as lightning because their celestial complexions. And all this combined together appeared just like the sky decorated with the both clouds and lightnings. It appears that the Vaikuntha planets, there are also airplanes, brilliantly glowing, and they are occupied by the great devotees of the Lord, with the ladies and celestial beauty as brilliant as lighting. And in the material world also, in the Satya Yoga, when this Devahuti and Kapil appeared, that time also the husband of Devahuti, Kardama Muni, he was also having that same plane. He was having a plane in this material world also, with the power of their penance and austerities. And on that plane, everything was there, including swimming pools, big Rajmahal, palaces, and servants, thousands of servants to serve to them for Damayanti. Sorry, whatever, everything on that plane. We cannot imagine also because here when we enter we have to fasten our seatbelts. For we have the fear of crashing the plane and whatever. Therefore, immediately after boarding, they are giving instruction. These are the 4 exits, this and that. With your parachute, you have to go from this side. But there is nothing, no crash and all in these planes. As there are airplanes, so there must be different types of carriages like airplanes. But they may not be driven machines as we have experienced in this world. Because everything is of the same nature of eternity, bliss and knowledge. The airplanes or carriages are the same quality as Brahman. In Krishna Loka or Vaikuntha Loka, see, in Golok also, Krishna doesn't want, when he gets hungry, he is not going to the trees or climbing on the trees to taking the fruits and all. Just he feels hungry, that branch of the tree comes near Krishna, where he is sitting. He is like sitting like this. That branch will come near to him and the fruits near his mouth. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes one bhajan, Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumara Tomara Ichhaya Vishve Srujana Samhara. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara means you are the Lord of Lords. and you don't want to do anything. It doesn't do you. There is no need of doing you anything. By your just will, everything happens. When he gets hungry, the fruits are coming. When he wants to sleep, he sleeps on the floor, on the rocks. That rocks become his bed, very smooth bed. Therefore, that all gopis, when they are praying to the Giriraj, they are praying Hanta Yamadrira Bala Haridasa Varyo Yadrama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat Pani Yasoya Vasakandara Kandamolaihi Hantaya Madri Rabala Haridasa Varyo. Alas, alas, what is the use of us? See this Govardhan mountain? He is Haridas Varyo, the superior, the best of the devotees. Haridas Varyo, the best among all the devotees. Haridas means devotees. Das of Hari, the devotees of the Lord Hari. He is the best among all the devotees. Why? Hantaya Madri Rabala Haridas Varyo. Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha. When Krishna and Balram enters on that Govardhan hill, by the just touch of their lotus feet, he is so happy. He is so happy. And because of his happy mood, he is giving everything to Krishna. The grass for sleeping, the cold and sweet water for drinking, everything. And eatable items, whatever fruits and everything that he is giving. And see, we cannot do for Krishna anything. We cannot see him also, or we cannot speak with him. And therefore, Govardhan is more best devotee than us. We are nothing in front of him. This is the devotional mood. When devotee gets totally absorbed in the devotional service, he sees as himself lower than the grass. You not think I am now big devotee or now I am senior devotee. Like once His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was telling, that is the devotional in material world we see. When we come in touch of devotees, when we are totally new, and whenever one devotee is sweeping the floor, we immediately goes to him and we are asking him, Prabhuji, why you are doing it? Because when he see the devotees in the temple with the shaven hairs and the tilak, he thinks that everybody is there from Vaikuntha Loka here. They are not from material world. And he goes to him and he asks for that broom for sweeping the floor. And he's telling Prabhuji, I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. 8 times servant. And after some times, that 8 times becomes 4 times. Servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. Then after some times, after Janmashtami, it becomes 2 times servant. Servant of the servant. And then after initiation, only servant. And if somebody will say Das, and then immediately will tell, hey, you cannot understand? I am initiated. You have to tell me Prabhu, not Das. I can say Das, but you should address me as a Prabhu. And then after some time, they will compete with Mahaprabhu. First they are Das, Das, Anudas, then Dasanudas, then Prabhu, and then they will compete with Mahaprabhu. This is the situation in this material world. And therefore, gopis are praying for the Govardhan. He is the best of all the devotees. One should not mistakenly think that there is only void and the variegatedness. Thinking like this is due to poor fund of knowledge. Otherwise, no one would have such a misconception of wideness in Brahman. As there are airplanes, ladies and gentlemen, there must be sites and houses and everything else just suitable to the particular planets. One should not carry the ideas of imperfection from this world to transcendental world and not to take into consideration the nature of atmosphere as completely free from influence of the time, etc., described previously. Means Prabhupada explaining here, in all and different lokas or different planets, they have different bodies. On the sun planet, like on the earth, this gross body, the element of earth is more. The percentage of earth is more in our body. in this gross body. Therefore, in the aquatics, those who are in the water is more prominent. The part of the water is more. Those who are flying in the air, the birds, the air is the prominent in their body. On the sun planet, the Agni, the fire element is the more powerful. With this same body, we cannot enter in the Surya Loka and Sun Loka, the sun planet. Will burn in the ashes immediately. But if somebody wants to enter to the sun planet, they need the body to enter in that, particularly with the element of fire. And therefore, with this material body, we cannot travel anywhere. It will diminish in this material world only. It will go in the soil. And therefore, by the subtle body, with the mind, man, buddhi and ahankar, mind, intelligence and ego, that body will continue for the next birth and death, and for this continuously our transition for the Golok or Vaikuntha Loka. And when we will reach there, we can see everything same described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever we are reading now. And therefore, after reaching there, we shouldn't be confused. Therefore, Prabhupada is clearing everything. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anybody have any comments or questions? Sorry for my English, Indian English.
Hey, don't abuse English.
Yes.
Thinking about the role of the spiritual master. Because he understands it, and somehow we see the spiritual master.
Somehow we can see him.
He's here.
Yes.
And by Krishna's arrangement, I have my guru, and I had a growing up like in a retirement store or something like that. I don't really think it was my decision. I don't think it was my choice. I think it was Krishna's choice.
Getting a spiritual master is not my choice.
Yes. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कोनो भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीज. By the mercy of Krishna, one gets spiritual master, and by the mercy of spiritual master, one gets Krishna. That is parallel connection. As our mood, as our sincerity to serve Krishna, and by that sincerity, Krishna sent the spiritual master. In our society also, see so many spiritual masters we have, but each and disciple, they have different mood for different spiritual master. And by the arrangement of Krishna only, sometimes this is the situation, many of the disciples, they are just praying to Krishna, send the spiritual master. And when they see that after their prayers, when they see to one particular person, the desire or the knowledge comes from his heart. This coming person who is standing in front of you, he is your spiritual master. I had many realizations from many devotees like that. One of our devotees from Karnataka, he read Prabhupada's books many times, Bhagavad Gita and Krishna book, and he went for the search of spiritual master. And he heard that Mayapur is the very nice place, Audarya Dham, the abode of Lord Chaitanya for this particular age of Kali Yuga. And he went to Mayapur and he was praying at the lotus feet of Radha Madhav. Please, Radha Madhav, please, how to find spiritual master? Please help me in this regards. And after that prayer, when he turned back, then one sannyasi, he saw one sannyasi there, standing, leading kirtan and giving classes. Then that desire from heart and that knowledge came from his heart that he is your spiritual master. Please accept him. And therefore, the personality is sometimes the different, but the Guru Tattva Tattva means in English, Tattva, principle. That is the same. The spiritual Tattva or spiritual masters, Guru Tattva is the same for all. There is no difference. The personality can be different. One is born in Australia, one is born in India, or either in America. But that principle of Guru is the same. And by the desire of Krishna, by the mercy of Krishna, we are getting the spiritual master. And after reciprocation, after some time of reciprocation continuously and serious guidance from him, and if we are very serious to follow his instruction, that connection between the spiritual master and the disciple gets ready and the connection will arises. Once my spiritual master was explaining about the 4 categories of disciple: Guru Drohi, Guru Sevi, Guru Tyagi, and Guru Bhogi. Guru Bhogi means who? One who is enjoying the wealth and the facilities on the name of spiritual master. Because we are staying in the temple. And by his mercy, we are getting all the facilities. And if you are not doing anything for rendering service, or we are not doing tangible for working in the spiritual world, in this spiritual movement, then that is the just our sense gratification. That is Guru Bhogi. Means enjoying the facilities of temple and the spiritual master. That is Guru Bhogi. Guru Tyagi means one who has left his spiritual master. After initiation, no connection, nothing. Spiritual master is in India and his disciple is in somewhere else. No connection. Everything is taking decision by him. It is described in the Shastras after the marriage, when husband and wife, they are coming together for getting the children. For that sake also, they have to take permission from the spiritual master. What to tell about all the other things in the spiritual world? Guru Tyagi. Guru Drohi means who is against, all the time he is against after his spiritual master. He doesn't know that. He's just staying there. What he knows that I'm suffering so much here. He has to understand that. Guru Drohi. And Guru Sevi means first class. That Guru Sevi is who is serving his spiritual master. Sevi means seva, service, and Guru Sevi means one disciple or one who is rendering service unto his spiritual master. And in that, there are again categories in that Guru Sevi. First class, second class, and third class. 3 categories. Third class means, as the Prabhupada gives the example in Nectar of Instruction, that after telling so many times he cannot understand. He will do same mistake again and again. And second class is that after telling once, he will understand, yes, spiritual master, I will follow you, that is thing. And the first class is that without instruction of spiritual master, he can understand the mind. He can understand the mind of his spiritual master, he can work for him. But just by his glance, by his attitude, or but just as by his association, he can understand what my spiritual master needs from me. And he can understand, he will work. And that is the first class and the best disciple. He can read the mind of spiritual master. And by the continuously connection, and for that, in the India, we have to tell the devotees that in India, this atyahar not only means just eating so much or grasping so much or collecting so much. In that same purport Prabhupada gives in the Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada writes that the devotees, sometimes they are gathering so many books for their knowledge. And they are gathering, And they are gathering, but they are not reading. And after reading also, there is no implementation. And therefore, everyone in the movement of our Iskcon, they should read only Prabhupada books, and side by side, they should read only the spiritual master's book at the starting stage, in the neophyte stage. Because after reading Prabhupada books and after reading our spiritual master's book, we can understand the mood and mission of our spiritual master. What is his mood? Because every different spiritual master, they have different moods. Somebody is there for preaching, somebody is there for deity worship, somebody is very eager for preaching in different villages. Somebody is eager for preaching for the VIPs, corporates. Somebody is interested in youth preaching. Everybody has different mood. And with the same mood of the spiritual master, if one disciple goes, then he will attain the perfection in his spiritual life. And that is called the link between spiritual master and the disciple, which takes us to the Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.